Hi friends, in previous video we have discussed about geography optional paper 1 syllabus. Now in this series we are continuing climatology, which contains first topic pressure and temperature belt of the world. So before we proceed, let's understand some basic terms. First one is latitude, second longitude, easterlies, westerlies and Coriolis force. Let's first understand what is latitude. Consider it as a globe. This is equator. This equator divides the whole sphere in two parts, northern sphere and southern sphere. So these lines are called as latitudes and these lines are called longitude. So here we understand that the angular distance from the equator towards the north and towards the south is considered as latitude, which contains 30 degree north, 60 degree north and 90 degree north, which is also known as North Pole. Similarly, in southern hemisphere, we see that it is 30 degrees south, 60 degrees south and 90 degree south, which is also known as South Pole. So here we learn that these lines are the east-west moving lines are called latitude, and the line joining the North Pole from the South Pole is called as longitude. Next we understand what is easterlies and what is westerlies. As we know that there are four directions: north, south, east and west. From these main directions we will derive four more directions. These are northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest. How we derived it? We consider north-south as a main direction. So after involving north and east, we derive northeast, south and east, southeast, south and west, southwest and north and west, northwest. So what is easterlies? The wind which is moving from northeast direction to the southwest direction is known as the easterlies. Because its origin is in northeast, this is named as easterlies. Similarly, the wind which is moving from southwest direction to northeast direction is called as westerlies. So do you remember all these things? Next we have Coriolis force. Coriolis force is nothing but it is an apparent force which arises because of rotation of the earth. As we all know that earth moves from west to east direction. So while its rotation, it exerts some force which is a kind of a theoretical force which doesn't actually exist, but because of its rotation we feel the effect, that is Coriolis force. So what is importance of Coriolis force in geography? When the wind moves in northern direction like this, the wind deflects to its right, and when the wind is moving in southern hemisphere, it deflected to its left. So the basic purpose of the Coriolis force is to deflect the direction of the winds. Now we will start pressure and temperature belt of the world. This is equator. 30 degree north is also called as subtropical zone. 60 degree north is called as subpolar zone, and 90 degree, which is itself considered as a pole. In southern hemisphere, 30 degrees south, which is again subtropical zone. 60 degree south, which is subpolar zone, and 90 degree, which is itself a pole. Since we are starting from the beginning, so we should know that the sun moves from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn in whole year. So here it is a Tropic of Cancer and here it is Tropic of Capricorn. When the sun moves from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn and Capricorn to Cancer, somewhere when it is on the equator, the temperature is extremely high. Here I will mention that temperature is inversely proportional to pressure. What does mean? When the temperature is high, the pressure will be low. Here it will be high pressure, here it will be low pressure, here high pressure. Similarly, in northern hemisphere, high pressure, low pressure, high pressure. Here it is low temperature, high temperature, low temperature. And similarly in southern hemisphere, low temperature, high temperature and low temperature. Now let's understand how the wind moves in northern hemisphere and in southern hemisphere. So wind moves from high pressure to low pressure. By following this rule, let's draw it here. When the wind is moving in northern hemisphere, it moves from high pressure. Here it is high pressure as we have discussed earlier. So wind is moving from here to here towards equator. And similarly in southern hemisphere, it is moving from high pressure to low pressure equatorial zone. So as we have discussed about the Coriolis force, the main purpose of the Coriolis force is to deflect the wind which is in northern hemisphere to its right and southern hemisphere to its left. तो इस हिसाब से देखा जाए तो क्या हो जाएगा कि जो विंड जो नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर में बह रही है वो क्या हो जाएंगी, डिफ्लेक्ट हो जाएंगी टू इट्स राइट. So the pattern will be look like this, and similarly in southern hemisphere the wind will deflect to its left. So basically winds are converging here, and this zone is known as ITCZ, means intertropical convergence zone, where the winds coming from northeast direction and winds coming from southeast direction, they are converging head to head on equatorial region. This region is also known as equatorial low pressure zone. Since pressure is low at 60 degree north and pressure is low at 60 degree south, so by law the wind which is in northern hemisphere, this will move in this direction from high pressure to low pressure zone, and like this. So again we will apply the Coriolis force here. What we see, in northern hemisphere the wind deflects to its right. That means now the original direction will be this. So the final pattern of wind will look like this. Here 5 degree north and 5 degrees south is considered as doldrum. Why this region is called as doldrum? Because the air is lighter here as well as feeble. This doldrum zone is not continuous and stable. Here this zone in both hemisphere is known as horse latitude. Why it is called horse latitude? Because in ancient time the traders who carry horses in their ships, they had to throw some of their horses to pass this zone, because this zone is again feeble and stable. Till now we have covered the basics of pressure and temperature belts of the world. In all there are 7 pressure belts. This one, these two, and the last, this one. These 2 belts is called as thermally induced belt, and these 2 are known as dynamically induced belt. Why we have named this thermally induced belt and dynamically induced belt? Because here temperature is the most dominant factor working to circulate the air. Here these 2 are dynamically induced. We will further study in next classes. So in all, on the basis of Genesis, there are 2 pressure belts. One is known as thermally induced, second is dynamically induced belt. This belt is known as equatorial low pressure belt, which comes under thermally induced belt. This belt is known as subtropical high pressure belt, which comes under dynamically induced belt. It is a subpolar low pressure belt, which comes under again dynamically induced belt, and this is high pressure polar belt, which comes under thermally induced belt.